We're live. What's up, friendly neighborhood nerds? This is Judah Rad. I'm here with the Robo Strange, Chris Runt, and Aramis. If you hear a heavy panting or breathing sound, sorry. So Aramis is wearing this mask, and it makes him almost impossible to understand, and it also creates this atmospheric Darth Vader breathing that's going to permeate the entire discussion. So best start getting used to it now because it's completely non-negotiable. Yeah, so why are we here? We're going to talk about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead movie that came out sort of recently, I guess. I watched it yesterday, and that's a movie that exists.
It was a movie.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to just kind of talk about it. We're going to see who likes it. I have no idea how long it's going to be. I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm just along for the ride. We got Ace in the chat. What is up, Ace? It was not my fault. It was not my fault. I was eating Cheetos. I'm sorry.
Here's what's gonna happen. Hey, Aramis, I'm just gonna mute you, and then when you want to talk, just unmute yourself, and then just unmute and then mute.
Yeah.
There you
go. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah.
Love you, Aramis.
Feels like a vice was like on my head and it was just released. Yeah. But seriously, I do love you, Aramis, with all my heart. So Army of the Dead. I don't know how we should structure this. Should we just start saying whether or not we liked it? Should we talk about the movie? What's everybody's favorite part of the movie?
Let's see. What was everybody's favorite part of the movie? That's rough. Chris, what's your favorite part of the movie?
The coyote character, Lily, just reminded me of every girl I dated in high school.
Okay.
Coyote character. Which one was that?
She was the one wearing the exploited t-shirt, which
the one who shot the guy in the leg, right?
Yeah, which just the cut off exploited t-shirt and the kind of like punk rock look, like that's my thing. That's my thing.
Was that a turn on or a turn off?
Oh, it was a turn on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes the most unhealthiest shit in your past is what. Yeah.
Yeah. There were some bad decisions made back in the day, but I had some fun times. So,
Ace.
Heard. So
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I like the tiger thing. I like the whole sentient zombie thing. So here's the thing. Slow, stupid zombies, slow, mindless zombies are just it's not going to be scary. I think Walking Dead kind of like beat that out of me, but like World War Z, bad movie. Scary fucking zombies. This movie, whatever movie, scary fucking zombies. Like that's scary zombies.
There's something to be said for slow zombies, and it's a very specific kind of fear. It's the fear of knowing you're about to die and having a really long time to think about it. And it's like you're in a situation where there's nowhere to go because there's so many of them, and you're in a room and they're just coming, and they're coming really slowly, and it's kind of scary. That situation where a bunch of slow zombies are coming in and you're like, fuck, where do I go? Fuck. Oh, and now they're ripping you apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is a mood. But I agree that fast zombies are much more, especially in an outdoor environment where you have guns, definitely much more intimidating.
Yeah.
I've been watching zombie movies forever. Like I love George Romero. One of my favorite zombie movies is Fido. Like there's so many great things you can do inside this genre, and the fast zombies I never had an issue with. Like a lot of old school zombie fans did. Like this was the worst thing ever. I'm just like, no, it's whatever. Like it's fine. It's just another, like when 28 Days Later came out, it's like, okay, this make like we can do this. It's a different type.
Mm-hmm.
I like this because this is also, if you really follow Romero's work, like the zombies slowly start to get more sentient as we go. And once we get to Land of the Dead, like whatever you feel about that movie, I know it's not that great, but like they're literally at the point where they're just like, okay, I can hold a gun now. What if I pull the trigger? Oh shit! Like, so I can make that jump to where it's like they're almost a tribal, I don't know, nomadic like race of people who worship these two that also have a tiger from Siegfried and Roy. Like, I'm fine with all that. Like,
and a horse. Yeah.
Yeah, the horse was a little goofy, but you know, if that's what's going to take me over the edge, like, okay.
And they didn't fuck, so I don't know. Yeah. I just don't know how I feel about this movie now.
I have to agree with Ace. I would have enjoyed seeing them fuck.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But the
you
thing
ever been to
that
a donkey show?
I kind of felt bad for the donkey.
I haven't actually.
Yeah, never mind. So speaking of changing the subject, so the thing that I liked most, the thing I liked most was Tig. What's their face's character? What's their last name? Tig something.
Notaro.
Yeah, Notaro.
Okay.
Notaro was hilarious, especially the first scene where they're introduced, where it's like, hey, so how would you like to make $1 million? And they're like, yeah, I don't even care what it is.
Oh yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I guess it has something to do with the helicopters. Is that?
Yeah. Whatever. Count me in. Where do I sign?
Yeah,
that was
$2 million. Honestly, yeah. If I knew the person already, like if any one of y'all just said, "Hey, I need a favor. I'll pay $2 million to do it." Like, all right, bet. I mean,
it was just.
I haven't told you what it is. So I'm like, yeah, who's saying no? Like, you know,
right? It's just a real ass moment, and I liked when I saw that. At this point, I was on team. This is pretty good. Like up to that point, I like the music video opening scene. Even though Snyder is like obsessed with making music videos throughout the entire movie, whatever. Sure. I don't mind that so much. I like the opening scene. I like the vibe. And then when we're up at the helipad where she's like saying that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucking funny and awesome. I like this movie, and I feel like it just all shat the bed and went off the rails at once. And
there's my answer though. In the music video, in the original music video, I hate to say favorite, but the most powerful scene to me was when they had to drop the fucking Connex on the mom and the daughter. That was like, damn, what the and then you kind of like, and then watching them on the other side of the wall, just kind of like what are you gonna do? Like imagine being the person that has to take a shit really bad right then and there, like right then and there. It's like, hey, no disrespect, I really gotta go. But that whole thing was like my favorite. Yeah.
See, my least favorite part of the whole movie was Dave Bautista's character. Like he literally
loses everything.
I feel for that moment, but then after that, it's just like my daughter doesn't talk to me, and I flip burgers for a living. It's like you're there just to be muscle. Like you have no character whatsoever. You're just tough guy with a gun.
Yeah,
but he's such
a. They didn't even make him funny. Like Marvel taught us, he can be funny.
Yeah,
he didn't even do that.
And all the characters around him, like was this? I got the list right here. Vandero and his guy with the fucking chainsaw thing, like he was really cool and he had an arc. And then Lily with what she did, everybody around him was very interesting, but he was just this dull core that I could have really done without as a whole.
Yeah.
I like his face. And I know that's kind of weird, but like I just really like Dave Bautista's face. He just like is a nice looking, nice guy, and I just like seeing him in movies. And I can't really explain it. It's like The Rock. I just like seeing him. You could write, you know what I'm saying?
It's not his fault. Like it's not his fault at all.
What's up, Danny? How's it going?
How's everybody doing? Sorry,
good.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nah, no big deal. Surprise guest.
It's not his fault. It's that his character is poorly written. Like his character is just a big pile of nothing, and that goes down to Snyder and him writing the script. Like, I'm not gonna blame Bautista for having nothing to do throughout the whole movie except for be like, why won't my daughter talk to me?
Right.
I know.
Like, okay.
Right. So boring. Like that's the least of his problems. And also, hey, she did watch you murder the mother. Like, granted, like you had no choice, but like that is kind of traumatizing. Like, why does it have to be about you
kill
now?
the mother. We're throwing around murder really willy-nilly these past couple of days. What about you, Danny?
Well,
favorite part, least favorite part.
You know what I really liked? One of my favorite things that was kind of like the misconception at the beginning, where you set up this one super badass character, you give us her backstory, she's about to get out of the thing, and then boom, that thing closes on her. Like, she looked like a badass, like whatever was happening in Vegas.
Yeah, then, she was braining people.
Yeah. So like all the introductions to the characters were cool, but then her, like, I wasn't expecting like, oh yeah, she's gonna die before anything even happens. So that was and then the cover of Las Vegas, I was playing behind all that stuff. Like, yeah, I really like that whole sequence.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty amazing how and we were kind of talking about it earlier. Kind of amazing how Tig, what's their face? I'm never gonna remember for some reason.
Notaro.
Tig Notaro was never on set. The entire movie, it was never on set. It was all reshoots, and she was never in the same room as any of the other characters.
Nobody.
Which I think is some movie magic right there. Pretty amazing. Because I wouldn't have been able to tell. Like, so that was pretty cool. Definitely my favorite character. Just her delivery. She's hilarious. Kind of reminds me of like Jane Lynch and like that deadpan, like funny but deadpan delivery. And she looks like Tom Cruise, which is funny to me just on its own. I don't know why.
So yeah, I think this says a lot about her as an actress too. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. That I'm like still like I'm stunned right now. Like someone just punched me in the face. I had no idea that she wasn't on set. So I kind of want to watch it. I want to watch it again now. I'm like trying to catch it.
Well, she replaced Chris D'Elia. So Chris D'Elia was that character, and he did something that involved showing his dick to a kid, or he did something fucked up. He's like completely did an unacceptable thing. So they just cut him straight up out of the movie and replaced him with Tig, and that's who that character is. But that. This problem, like, do we call up Dave Bautista and all these other people and try to reshoot these scenes? Of course not. You know what I mean? So they just used movie magic. Yeah, it was amazing what they did. But you can't.
So there's the thing here. So you know how sometimes you watch a movie like a made for TV movie, and then you sit there and you go, "Wow, these people are professional actors, but wow, they're so bad." And I think that goes to like certain like cinematography too. Like every time you see like a person who's supposed to be talking to themselves, and they show the cut of the standing actor and it's just the back of their head and they're like, whoa, it's me. And then they do a scene change and now there's a new actor's back of their head. It's like, it's clearly not them. Whatever the fuck they did here, whoever's in charge of cinematography and editing and all that stuff was like.
Talking about stunt doubles?
No, I'm just talking about putting her in there and them and her not actually talking to anybody. And it not being obvious, I had no clue. That's crazy. I didn't follow the news on that. So
I watched the movie originally in the theaters on the 14th when it came out because I was like, if I'm going back to the theater for a live action movie, let's make it a big one. And as you guys know from the chat, I really like Zack Snyder's movie. So which is maybe unpopular opinion.
Nah, you good.
but yeah, I was like, let's go to the movies, and it was great. I think the runtime's a little long for going to the movies, something I can't pause at home. But once I rewatched it at home, like I got to see a lot. It's hard. You don't even notice unless you really pay attention to like some of the group scenes and stuff where you see some of the CGI like outline or whatever. But you have to look for it. You have to look for it. Now that if you watch it again or if you go through the movie again, Robo, now that you know, you'll probably look for it.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I also, just as a me thing, Theo Rossi, who played like the border guard, his character's an asshole, but I love that actor ever since I watched Sons of Anarchy.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Yes. And so as soon as he popped up, I was just like, "Oh, it's Theo!" Yeah.
Juice.
My boy
Juice.
He's a good actor. He like so convincingly plays a piece of shit. Like I was amazed by how convincing he is. And that's the kind of performance that gets you hate mail, you know?
Yeah. Judah, for the one person that's probably watching both, like it popped in my head after we got off, like Exo Manowar, I want fucking Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh
yes.
Yeah.
It's funny.
like
It's funny you should say that. Glynis in the internal chat actually said that like right after we signed off. They were like, "What's his name? Charlie Hunnam."
Uh-huh.
They go, for the record, I think Charlie Hunnam or Alexander Skarsgård would play a good Arik. And I was like, yes. And then there you are saying it. So that's a pretty big coincidence.
But when Theo showed up, like I was really happy, even though his character was a piece of shit and he had like 2 moments. But I liked how he was bait in the beginning and then came back basically to bite them in the ass at the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Literally.
Everyone got bit in the ass pretty much. So
that was one of my biggest problems with the movie is it just left me like I was just lived like it was just a sad movie. At the end, everybody dies, and it was like, what was the point? What was the point of any of this? That was kind of my big walk away with that.
But that's how like the old school. I feel like that's like kind of a throwback, like the old school horror movies. The old school like zombies. What was it? The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like that's how it was, and you're like left in the theater with credits rolling. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you know, like the dude's mom is like, "We made it. You're on the thing," and then like, and it's like, "Oh, fucking bitch."
Yeah.
I was rewatching Dawn of the Dead, the Snyder one, this week with some friends too, and we started talking about it. The original Dawn of the Dead, the Romero one. It had a sad ending, and they made him reshoot a happy ending.
Oh.
And then Zack Snyder had a more happy ending with them on the boat, and then they remade him do a darker ending where they get to the island and then they get fucked anyways.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
So it's pretty funny. So I guess he kind of took that note from back then, and he's like, well, let's play it out the same.
Sure.
Which set up an awesome sequel in Mexico City, I think.
Nobody would have survived that helicopter crash.
No. I thought maybe they were gonna do like a slide, like a slam, but it did a bounce slide and then nosedive and tumbled. I'm like, oh yeah, they're all dead.
Also, so when Tig Notaro and Mariana Peters is flying them out of there on that helicopter, that's the name of the character, Mariana Peters, and they're like, yeah, there's no money. By the way, can you pick up my daughter? I don't know, like, who in their right mind would not be like, fuck no. Like, they had 8 minutes. They had 8 minutes. So she's about to die for no money. For no money. Why would she? It was so unbelievable to me that she would agree to that. It's not like she developed this close human connection to these people. You know what I mean? Like, why on earth would she not be like, fuck you. We're about to die. There's a nuclear bomb coming. We're getting the fuck out of here. And I'm also pissed at you because there's no money. So I would just risk my life for nothing. Like, that's a normal attitude to have, and instead she was like,
stop, you're projecting.
Well, yeah, it is, but instead she was like,
now I know what Judah would do.
Yeah, I would get the fuck out of there. Especially after.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Judah, finish your thought.
No, I was just saying, like, they didn't sell the idea that she was all of a sudden like this huge altruistic person that's gonna like pretty much certainly die. By the way, 8 minutes. I don't know what 8 minutes means in the Snyder world, but like 8 minutes is like you don't have time to land a helicopter.
It's in slow-mo.
Yeah. Dude, you watch Justice League, like 8 minutes lasts 3 hours. Like
That's
it's
right.
fine.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's a whole Icelandic song.
While I smell his shirt.
Yeah.
On the rewatch, the whole plot line of the daughter going back for her friends. I was like, okay, yeah, this is kind of annoying. So it at first didn't bother me as much, but then once you know the results of everything that happened, and then she's the only one that gets money and gets to live unencumbered by any bites or anything, I'm like, oh, that's kind of fuck. This is a bad lesson, I think.
So that one right there is, I think, the most unbelievable. Yeah. Well, I don't know about unbelievable because teenagers are idiots sometimes, but definitely the most annoying. Like what? No fucking way.
It was just a plot element that didn't have to be there. It just annoyed it. It was just
yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm putting myself now. My turn to project. I'm putting myself like. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say the S word.
All right, sit back, everybody.
Sorry. Here's the deal. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Trigger warning. I'll tell you right now. Me and Marlene Man-Eater, we've had this conversation plenty of times. In a true to fucking life Walking Dead scenario, especially if everyone I love is dead and there's nobody, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? What am I doing here? And I'm probably going to take the easy way out. So now let's say that let's say I've decided not to do that, and I'm living in this post-apocalyptic world. I'm the helicopter driver, and I'm taking this bus around, and it's like dude comes on, obviously fighting fucking bunch of zombies. There's no money. He's like, it's not his fault. Like, okay, well, no money. You know what I mean? I'm flying out. Hey, my daughter's down there. Let's go get your daughter. I mean, if I fucking die, I die. What the fucking weird? I'm gonna post zombie apocalypse thing.
But it's only in Vegas. The rest of the world is mostly normal. Like you have a normal world to return to in this scenario.
Yeah, but she didn't have zero relationship with him. Like there was some sort of working relationship with him before, and it's the dude's daughter. I'm not sure I'd be able to say, nah, fuck your daughter. I don't think I'd be able to do it. Even if I were mad at myself, I'm like, oh my god, I could have get out of here. But I'm not gonna be like, nah. Plus, this fucking Dave Bautista probably just pulled me out of the scene, throw me out, and try to do it himself. I don't know. I don't know.
He put on his tiny glasses and.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If Dave Bautista was like, oh man, we have like 30 minutes. Can we stop my daughter? I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's an acceptable risk. If he said 8 minutes, like it takes 8 minutes just to land this fucking thing.
My point would be like, I would accept that. You're right that it's unrealistic that anything was going to happen in 8 minutes. I just think to myself, I'm like, my wife's dead. I had this girl. Assuming this is an assumption here, she's by herself. So I'm assuming she has nobody either. All she has is her and her fucking maintenance world. And I think at that point I would just sell like, I'm probably gonna die.
And she stated that she hated her life in the beginning of the movie. Like she stated like anything to get out of this bullshit. Like,
yeah, see,
stupid. So
it fits. Yeah, that would be the thing. Like now, I will tell you, my lean, my son, my daughter, my grandkid, my dogs. Like, and I'm like, I got 8 minutes. Like, bro, I got my own shit to get back to too. Sorry, guy. You know, then I would be like, fuck you. But I don't know. What do you think, Aramis? You've been quiet over there. Is your Bane voice thing off? He's not muted, so I think he took it off. Hey, there he is.
So going back to the thing about the movie element where she doesn't need to get all the money, it reminded, I don't know if any of you guys watched it, but it reminded me a lot of the movie From Dusk Till Dawn, which pretty much had the exact same ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar.
Remind us for all the other people who probably don't remember the ending.
I just remember
From Dusk Till Dawn, this family gets kidnapped by 2 mobsters, and they go to a strip club to do some sort of.
No, yeah, I remember the movie. I just don't remember the exact ending. And
the strip club is filled with vampires, and they're stuck there for the entire night. And the girl, her whole family dies, and one of the mobsters survives, and they're the only 2. And the mobster gives the girl a bunch of money and says, "You can start your new life, whatever you want. You just can't come with me."
Okay.
This might say more about me than anything, but all I remember from that movie is Cheech Marin spending like 20 minutes talking about pussy.
I thought you were gonna go with Salma Hayek's dance, but
that's let me tell you something. That was a late. I think my hormones were definitely.
But that was young. Like
I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
If that was a tape on a VHS, that was definitely worn out.
I became a man from that scene. That's the scene that made me a man.
That's literally the only thing I think about when I hear Dusk Till Dawn. Fucking Salma Hayek on the table. That's it.
It's funny. So you bring up a reference. You're referencing Dusk. There were enough references to other movies in this movie to make me think that that's not a coincidence. And maybe I'm reading too into it. So stop me don't stop me, but tell me after.
I'll fucking stop me.
If you think. But so when she sees the helicopter and she goes, "What a hunk of junk!" Immediately I thought of Star Wars. Like that's like seemed like a very crystal clear Star Wars reference. And then when Lily goes, "You don't see them fucking each other over," that's like such a clear Alien. That's a line directly out of Aliens, and it's during the scene where the fucking corporate asshole dude is there, just like in Aliens. Then there's like in Jurassic Park when Ellie Sattler is like, "He left us." Not Ellie Sattler, the little girl who screams really well is like, "He left us, he left us," and that line of dialogue
that was also from Aliens.
Also in Aliens, yeah. And then the whole time the chick, I can't remember her name, is wearing the LVQC t-shirt. And every time I saw that, whenever I see LV, like I know it doesn't stand for this, but it made me keep thinking of LV 426, which is the planet that has all the aliens in the first two Alien movies. So I don't know, that felt like there were a lot of like just like little vague enough to totally go unnoticed, but pretty like they definitely like triggered my ears. Movie quote references. You guys think that was on purpose, or do you think I watched too many movies? I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I agree.
It could
I
be
think
both.
I mean,
It could be both. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Danny.
there's
Like, I
too
think it could be
many-
both.
too many similarities
I think
Yeah.
on purpose. I think too many
Yeah,
references.
Snyder loves movies, so like I can definitely see him just watching all these things and taking them in, and like all this stuff kind of shows up in his work, whether subtle or not. That's probably a different. That's probably where if it sometimes it's not as subtle as maybe it should be. Like one of the songs, I think when he's digging into the queen to get the baby out. There's a song from the movie Excalibur, which is Snyder's favorite song. That one's more subtle because not a lot of people even have watched Excalibur. Even less people know that that's Zack Snyder's favorite movie.
Oh wow!
Or even less people would even recognize the song in the movie. So
the whole movie,
And
is
that
very-
whole thing coalesces to be just Danny.
Zack
whole
Snyder's
movie-
gonna find you one day. Watch, he's like, you're the only one that got that.
My guy, that's the one guy who likes Sucker Punch too.
the whole movie.
Actually, that's the only one I don't like, Chris.
So Army of the Dead completely parallels Aliens if you really think about the plot. What happens in Aliens? In Aliens, they have to go back to this place where there are all these monsters for some weird like corporate reasons. There's some corporate shill that's along with them that's not telling them the whole story. There's a queen. They save a girl. The main character is trying to get in touch with their parenthood because they had a really bad thing happen to them before. They have experience with these things, and then they fly away. And while they're flying away, one of them latches onto the thing they're flying away on. Like and right before the whole place explodes. Like literally, it's almost like a beat by beat mirror of Aliens, only not good.
When I did my review, I told my buddy, "This is my favorite video game movie that's not a video game."
It's actually well
Because
said.
it feels like that. You get all the characters, you get
Yeah.
your character starter pack at the beginning of the movie, and then the mission, and then it gets harder and harder, and then shit goes wrong. This is a really tough video game where you pretty much end up losing anyways. But I think that's a fad now to like not be able to win at video games. I don't play a lot, but from what I've seen, they get harder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm playing Resident Evil right now. That's what I was doing between shows.
That's why Robo's so is just not in it because he's got that big titted vampire lady on the brain.
That's right. Yeah, I already had to kill her. I'm past that. And but she's in my dreams, and I'll never forget her. Yeah. actually, I have a GIF or GIF, however you want to say it, for y'all. Go ahead, continue though.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, like I think it's just an acceptable movie. Like it's not going to win any awards. It's not going to be my favorite movie, but I've enjoyed my time with it. And the ending, like we see now that Snyder said, like, yeah, I'll do another one if they'll let me, because he definitely set it up for something moving forward.
That's right.
Spoilers, they won't let him.
Well, I mean, he already has an anime prequel and an RPG game launching from this, so I think they
Wait, are
will.
you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
They I don't know if it's an RPG game or a board game, but there's a board game that's been announced, and the anime has been announced for a long time. A lot of these characters are going to come back, and we're going to see them be Las Vengadores or whatever their name was as a group. So we're going to see a lot of more like conflict from the beginning. So I think Snyder's going to work with Netflix a lot more in the future. I'd be happy if he only continues to do zombie films because I love both of the ones he's done. So if this is his thing now, like just let it be his thing, and stay away from superheroes where it's very much more divisive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and prior to this, I thought Dawn of the Dead was his best movie, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
I
It's weird the trajectory of his career. If you just kind of look at it from like outer space, it's like how will Zack Snyder be remembered in like 20 years? Just like is he the zombie movie dude? Is he the superhero movie dude? Or is he just like the randomly divisive dude that makes like pretty like on like pretty sincerely B movie type movie? Like not saying they're bad movies, but he's not trying to make Godfather, make Schindler's List. He's making pulp. You know what I mean? He's making stuff that's meant to be like you throw it on and you just munch your popcorn and laugh and like, ooh, that's cool. Oh, that's stupid. So I don't know. It's like he's getting this auteur treatment from like media and from fans and from the world. Everyone's like, ooh, the mind of Zack Snyder. What's he doing next? But it's like he's not making like Rosemary's Baby or anything. You know what I mean? So it's weird his impact on the culture. Do you think?
I mean,
I'm sorry.
To answer your question, Judah, I think that he's going to be remembered for his superhero stuff because his movies.
Sorry.
Wait, he made that movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do that next.
Yeah, that's the one I haven't seen. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Listen, I already watched Star Wars.
actually-
I don't need to watch it again.
That was a go.
I don't know. I think the whole Zack Snyder phenomenon is just strange.
I think he'll be remembered for 300.
I would say that's the movie of his I enjoy the most.
Yep.
I think he'll be remembered for his superhero stuff because out of all of the movies that he's made, the Justice League Snyder Cut had the most effect on culture to date.
More than 300?
I would say so because, how many people demanded a sequel to 300 compared to how many people wanted the Snyder Cut?
Well,
There's other factors though.
Yeah,
like-
I think the Snyder Cut was like a perfect storm of or shitstorm, I guess. The world stood still in 2020, so we needed something that was already shot. So they're like, HBO's launching this, like the service had to come on board. So that was one big piece. The movie was already pretty much done. That was a big second piece, and then everyone was stuck at home. So that was kind of like and then obviously the demand that had been going for years. So that feels like a lightning in a bottle, once in a lifetime thing that I don't think we'll ever see again.
You also fall into the realm of, it turned out that what was the director that took over for him?
Whedon.
Whedon.
Oh, yeah.
It turns out Whedon was kind of a piece of shit. So like, there's a lot there, and I also think that I predicted in my show that with this whole Discovery acquisition, that we're like probably 5 years away from them being like, fuck all that stuff that happened before. We're gonna do a new universe, and nobody's gonna remember this shit show that's been the past 6 years of DC movies. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
Like, so I think all this superhero stuff that he did will be vastly forgotten because they're gonna come back through and hopefully do it right.
Snyder Exo Man-O-War.
I tell you what, I think there's a sweet spot there for investors, and I just can't see it happening. I can't see them saying, you know what, 2028, this is the year we kick off the new DC universe. I think by that point, I'm not going to be there. Most of us here and our fans will never be there. But I think regular moviegoers are getting superhero saturated.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's over. I personally believe that that's overblown by media, who are then the reviewers that are sick of watching these movies. If you really look, these movies consistently make shitloads of money, and I don't think that anybody out there in the regular fan base is getting sick of it. I think it's all overblown bullshit.
I think we're in the second wave. I mean, the best comparison I have, and it's not a great comparison, but I think is glam rock from the 80s. Like early 80s, you had your like Motley Crue, your Def Leppard, your Twisted Sister, and then you have the second wave towards the end of the 80s, like with bands like Poison and stuff. And there had to have been people like us thinking, is this shit just never going to go away? Is this just going to keep being popular forever? And then it just hit a wall. Like the right thing happened, like Nirvana happened, hit a wall, and it never fucking came back, and it will never come back. Like you had the Darkness, like maybe like 10 years ago, and that was really a cool nostalgia nod to it, but that didn't like take off. It didn't start a movement. Like, and I feel like maybe superheroes might be like that. Like I think that at some point it's just gonna hit a fucking wall, and something's gonna replace it, and no one's gonna look back. They're gonna be like, oh shit, there's this old thing that's been dominating for 20 years, and there's this brand new thing that's awesome, and then the old thing is never gonna feel new again. It's always
but look at it this way, Judah. If you really look back at it, it's been like what 20 years of this MCU thing building something that we never seen before,
right?
In terms of mainstream pop culture. But there's been a fever for comic book related stuff since the fucking 40s. Like there was Superman stuff in the serials, the cartoons hit big. Like there's so many people who grew up with Super Friends and all these other things. And even like if you go back to the 60s, there were shitty Captain America movies and a Doctor Strange movie. And yeah, they were like straight to TV stuff, but people were hungry for it. It's that the technology finally caught up with people's ambition. I don't think I don't see the bubble being as close to bursting as people think. I don't think that we're going to have 6 Marvel movies every year forever. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you're ever going to get to a point where it's like, no more superheroes. We're done with this.
We discussed, I can't remember who I talked about this with. I think it was just me and just Robo and I, but there's a trend now of the deconstructed take. And I feel like now that it happened with The Boys, and that's not the first one, but I'd say it's one of the more popular ones in recent memory. With The Boys, and then with the Watchmen HBO show, and with various other and stuff. Like there's this wave of the deconstructed superhero, and I feel like now that exists in the public consciousness, not just among comic fans, but among everyone, I feel like there's no going back. I don't think you can be sincere about it once you've deconstructed it. Like I feel like that's where we're at now. I don't think there's much farther to go from there.
The Boys have been around forever in comics, and yet we still get mainstream comics all the time. Like, yeah, I don't think just because you deconstruct it means that it's over. Like you can deconstruct it and make fun of it, and it only adds to the popularity, in my opinion, because some of my favorite superhero stuff is The Boys, Invincible, so on and so forth. But I still love reading Marvel comics every month.
But I think there's a difference between deconstructing something for the hardcore comic fandom and Johnny Casual, who just likes to go see MCU movies. I grew up going to MCU movies. I grew up going to this fucking Zack Snyder movies, and now it's like I'm a grown up and I watch The Boys, I watch Invincible, and like, do you really have like? Can you demature back to like the just sincere, like exciting movies as a
I mean we do it we do it for when we zoom out, we do it. And that comment right here is oh shit, what happened? This right here really kind of sold it. I'm like, you think about certain genres and subgenres that are out there that have lasted. We do it within genres all the time, right? And so that's like saying, hey, horror movies right now are super hot. But eventually we get tired of it, and then we stopped looking at horror movies and we went to like more psychological thrillers. And once you go psychological thrillers, you really can't go back to the whole thing. Fair. But we do. We kind of jump around. I do think. I don't know that it'll be over. I don't know if we'll. I don't know if we'll do a glam rock type of scenario. But what it's my video game. I forgot to close server. Do you guys hear something?
No.
Okay, it's my Resident Evil. I heard Resident Evil all of a sudden. I was like,
you're making your point, and all of a sudden it's like
it's about to turn into a horror movie right here.
Oh my god, no. So to wrap it up, I think that what we'll probably see is waves, right? So nice, awesome Spider-Man, young Spider-Man, like I'm gonna fight the bad guy, and then maybe some boys, and then we'll just kind of go. But I agree. If I had to throw in my Vegas bet, superhero maybe will evolve and maybe create subgenres within sub superheroes, but it's not going anywhere.
There's no putting the genie back in the bottle.
I think it'll swing like with like even as a comic reader, like you start out with the capes most of the time. There's some people that don't. And then you kind of start digging deeper to like, okay, what else is out there? You go to indie comics, you go to stuff like Valiant that's still capes, but it's kind of like your pathway through like. So movies will be the same. They're just mining all these properties. They're running out of superhero stuff to mine. So they're going into the indie stuff. Look at all the Miller World stuff that's being made. Yeah. And then it'll kind of swing back again, like because sometimes I've been reading too many indie comics and I want to go back to capes, and I want to read capes again just because that's my spot where I feel the most comfortable. As much as I enjoy reading all the indie stuff, that makes me think a little more. Sometimes I need to turn it off and just watch Hyperion plow through Galactus's head.
Yeah.
And I would say, Robo, like we've already done the whole subgenre thing. Like Captain America: Winter Soldier was a spy movie. Ant-Man was a heist movie.
Yeah.
Like we can, and that's what I think people also get lost in the superheroes will die thing, because it's not just like it's not even the zombie thing where it's a zombie movie and it's a horror movie and that's it. It's a superhero movie, but then we can just crinkle off into 1,000 different things. So we just had a horror Superman movie, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like that's my thing. Like I really think the people are overblowing this. Like the bubble's gonna burst and all will die.
Well, in one sense, superheroes movies didn't start with Spider-Man and like Batman Begins and shit. Like in one sense, it always existed. Like you go back to the 80s, like they just looked different. Like your superhero was John Rambo, or your unbeatable superhero was James fucking Bond, or you know what I mean? Like there's always gonna be like an unbeatable, awesome good guy.
Right. Yeah, now you can just make them fly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Now you can make them fly seamlessly.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair.
One quick thing I want to touch on: if Zack Snyder was gonna adapt the Valiant series, I think I want him to do Fallen World or Rye. I think that style of the art in those books is very reminiscent to like his style.
Clayton Crane.
Yeah. Like all the after apocalypse, like all that stuff. I think that'd be suited to his sensibilities. Because I was looking through, I was like, I don't know about any of these other dudes, but Fallen World and Rye, like,
yeah, I sort of hope not, but I can see what you're saying. Yeah, I get it. I get where you're coming from. Yeah, I hope not. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying if I had to pick one, I would pick that one.
Yeah,
I would personally. I would want to.
You know that pick a button thing?
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, Judah just had a be a dick, don't be a dick, be a dick, don't be a dick. I hope he does get it. No.
I picked don't be a dick. It was a don't be a dick answer.
He did.
Oh,
the high road. Yeah. Salute, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. I always pick the high road. So is there anything else to say about this this movie, Army of the Dead? I feel like we really just kind of like beat a dead horse and then almost like moved on to something else that was more interesting to talk about, to be honest.
And then resurrected it and then wrote in on it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Can we get more animal zombies?
What's that?
Is it what?
More animal zombies. The tiger and the horse look fucking dope.
Yeah.
Oh, that I'll say.
Though they fucked it up. They completely fucked it up.
The tiger killing that dude.
Yeah.
That was 100%. And I'll say, like, I have house cats. I don't have a fucking tiger. But I've watched one of my cats eat a fucking mouse, a field mouse that he found, and it looked just like that fucking tiger eating that dude. and grabbing its head and just like crunching it down and being like, "You're fucked," and walking away.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm just like, "Oh my god, that's awesome."
Yeah.
Human shamblers are like empty shell. Like I'm not talking about like the queen or like the alphas as they call them, but the regular shamblers that makes up the vast majority of zombies. They're a shell of a person. They're not really a person. They're just like maybe they're a little faster, but they don't have any fucking cognitive ability like that from what you can see in this movie. And that tiger had all of the cognitive ability of a normal tiger. Like you could see how it was moving and like sniffing around and ducking.
Maybe it was an animal alpha.
Yeah, he was made by alpha.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It should have been like have you ever seen like a dog with rabies? The way it's just like it should have been more like that. I don't know. Just my opinion.
The sequence that they're in the kitchen trying to get through since you brought up the shamblers, it reminded me of that was another pretty cool sequence where they're all trying to go through them without disturbing them. And then obviously if you watch
Yes. I want that too.
If you watch any horror movie, you know they're gonna be disturbed. That gave us one of the coolest who was it? Chambers? Fucking just wrecking shop. Like that was super cool. I see, and then you're like, "Oh, she's dead," and then no, she's not. She comes through the window, and that was cool. And then Gris had to put her down, but man, that was a cool sequence because it goes like it builds up really slowly, but then when it fires off, like it just goes 100 miles an hour.
Do you think the guy at the end jumped out of the plane to kill himself so that he didn't fucking infect wherever he was headed, or do you think he just?
No.
Do you think he was like, shit? Well, I guess. Yeah.
I think he knew. you don't walk through the desert with a fucking bite wound carrying 3 bags and not know. I think he did.
Yeah,
and every movie did.
The whole time he had the thing in the place.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know what's funny is every zombie movie has the I'm hiding my bite wound thing, and this one didn't have it. And it was him. He's the hide the bite wound dude, and that's how you're gonna get your sequel.
Yeah, and he knows he'll be an alpha, so he'll be able to maintain his. He knows the difference between because he was bitten by the alpha right at the end when he was thrown into the vault.
Hopefully, yeah.
Which was like, man, I thought he was gonna get stuck there. I was like, that's worse. So don't put me in the vault. Just let me die with y'all.
Oh, that's actually a good point.
Because I'm gonna starve.
I didn't think he was gonna get out, but I did think about that. I was like, what would I rather, eaten by zombies or starve in darkness?
Yeah. All this money can't buy me shit.
Yeah, right.
What was the whole point of getting the free passage if they're just going to get attacked at every turn?
The free passage?
Just to have a cool scene where the rapist dude gets shot in the leg. I think that was the point.
That's one part, but it's also there's the sequence where so they give passage, but then they start getting attacked every turn. Really, when they cut off the queen's head, like that's when it all starts.
No, they got attacked in the kitchen when they were,
well, because
those were shamblers.
The shamblers don't know, right? Yeah, the shamblers don't know. They don't know they don't have the cognitive ability to tell, like, oh, these guys have free passage.
The Shambler King really wanted that head back, and I guess he loved her. I guess they had they connected on a very deep level. Had some really great.
She had his baby.
Yeah, she had his baby, but I mean, at that point, she was just a head, and I'm just wondering. I kind of wanted him to get the head back because I kind of wanted to see what the rest of their relationship was like.
Well, he's the winter fucking king, right?
Yeah.
He's the
He
wouldn't be. Yeah, he wouldn't be. Yeah, that's what it is.
But he's smarter because he built himself a thing to protect his one weak spot.
So he's not really a zombie by any means. So I guarantee you, it probably wouldn't take him much to go, all right, let me go put this shit back on. All right.
Well, it was interesting because I don't know if they'll explain what they really are. First, the dude comes from Area 51, so we know it could be alien related. A lot of them explode with like blue liquid and their eyes glow blue. And then this guy, his hair grows because he had a buzz cut at the beginning of the movie, the alpha, the king. But then his hair grew, and then he's also able to procreate and make a zombie.
Regenerative healing function.
Yeah, so
maybe an alien, maybe not.
These things could be something else.
Yeah.
So, Dan, if you dig a little deeper online, there's actually whole articles about the different spottings of aliens throughout the movie. So there's actually in that sequence in the beginning when the guys getting dome in the car and they crash, there's actually 2 moons flying in the distance over the crate and the UFOs. So there's actually hints throughout it that it's aliens that started all of this. So
I think that may be some of the stuff that gets explored in the anime, like not only the stuff that happened in Vegas, but their backstory. So hopefully that's what it is, because I think it's an interesting idea that it's not just like a chemical or some supernatural shit, like it's aliens.
Yeah. So before we get into the voting, I just want to say real quick, Air Force security forces are dweebs. Yes. That would not be like 3 vehicles carrying a super top secret thing that they wouldn't even. Now, what they do is they are in charge of running convoys, like with nuclear, equipment, or if they got to move a missile from one place to another. Those are security forces that do that. And talk about the dudes in the beginning of the movie with the berets, right? But 3 vehicles and the dude who's in charge. I'm doing the whole like Neil deGrasse Tyson ruining a movie because it's not realistic enough. The dude was a senior airman. Like, they're like 21 years old. They're like brand new. He said, "Get your man out of there. Come on, guys." I'm like, hold on. A brand new dude, brand new to the military is running this? No, that's the last thing I want to say about that.
They always make senior airmen members of the Air Force security forces, like E4s. They always make them look like these mature, disciplined soldiers. When in reality, the dude's like, "Oh, finally, we can take our fucking helmets off and like get on our phones." Like,
as he eats his boogers,
he eats his boogers. He's like, there's like 50 empty Monster cans on the seat. Like,
All right. Rate it. Let's go. Aramis, what do you rate this movie?
Out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
Out of 12. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. 5 out of 10. All right, Chris.
I'll give it a 7 out of 12.
Okay.
I liked it, but it's not my favorite thing. It's just a fun, like, turn it on, and I had a good time, and I'll probably never watch it again. And, like, I'm not really interested in seeing an anime prequel, but I'd watch a sequel if there was.
What about an anime? What about a spin-off called Army of Thieves that focuses on Dieter? That's
What about Army of Lightness? That would be cool.
Well, no, that one's already confirmed. The Army of Thieves, the spin-off with the safecracker. That's a thing that's happening. I forgot about that one when I talked about it earlier.
I might. I like Dieter.
Dieter was cool. Him and his bromance. It was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, and then when he finally got the courage.
But isn't the prequel all about Batista? Am I wrong about that?
So there's two things. There's the anime, and then there's the Dieter spinoff. At least that's what's been confirmed so far, recently.
Because that was my thing with the prequels. If it's about fucking Batista's character, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but you'll see just how he ruined his relationship with his daughter and everything that they went through.
But we know how.
No, we saw it.
I don't care.
I
just don't care.
No, it goes deeper than that. He was never at any of her games. It was bad.
He never wanted to open a food truck with her until now.
Yeah, you're gonna wait to the end of the world. Cool, thanks, Dad.
Listen, Batman, we get it. Your parents are dead. Let's move on.
Danny M, where are you at?
I'll give it a 9. I mean, I love the movie.
What? Come on.
Wait, it gets wait. It gets first of all, it gets the Snyder bonus for me, right? You have to. I completely went into this saying I am pretty much biased, but
is this a 9 out of 12?
No.
So how many points is the Snyder bonus? Like just on the Snyder movie alone, how many? Points
Yeah.
Oh,
do you start off at 6?
Just one. No, so it's more of a
start at 15, and then you just subtract every time there's something you don't like.
Yeah, the Snyder bonus starts at 10, and then I have to take some points off.
Wow, 9. Look. I knew you were a Snyder. I know you are a Snyder fan.
But I'm not one of those really mean ones
you're not.
online.
You're right.
You're a very nice Snyder fan.
For your
that
viewers,
9, bro. A 9.
9. You know, the fact that I get to rewatch it at home for free. Well, for free.
Why don't you just marry it? Why don't you just marry the movie?
I might. Shit. If there's a longer cut, I'll find it.
The Snyder cut will get jealous, though.
Yeah.
Dude,
No.
the future, like 50 years from the future, like all of society is just going to be living through a never-ending Snyder cut. Like it'll just be like the 7-year Snyder cut. That's where we're headed.
You can find it in any color.
Don't worry, we're getting the Sucker Punch cut soon. So
what about
wow, I can't wait.
What about you, Judah? And what is your score? And why is it 3?
Wow. Yeah.
12.
Wow. I give it a 3 out of
5.
I give it a 3 out of 10. I give it like I guess a 2 out of. I don't know. I can't do math, but it's a lot less out of 12. I know it's less. But yeah. No, it's more. It would be more.
Yeah,
it would be more.
I'm an idiot.
Never do math in public. That's rule number 1.
Listen, this is your second show today, so we understand.
Yeah. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Listen, some of us have done 3 today, Danny. Okay.
Yep. Motherfucking bun.
So, I'm sorry, guys. I was busy talking to Cullen Bunn. Yeah.
Be jealous. Okay.
I am.
I am. He's awesome. So we've actually interviewed him twice, but it looks like we've only interviewed him once. I'm not going to get into why, but I give it a 3. I give it a 3 out of 10 because I did like the beginning. I think the first 30 minutes set up what I thought was going to be a pretty good movie. I was actually excited, and then I got bored. I legit got bored. It was like so close quarters for so much of it, and I didn't like the movement, and I didn't really love any of the characters. I thought that Dieter was kind of annoying. He was like Flash in the pre-Snyder cut, in the Whedon cut, where I was just like, get this fucking dude off the screen. And
I didn't like the Snyder cut with Flash. Get him off the screen.
Okay, so whichever Flash is your least favorite Flash, that's who Dieter was to me.
Put down the hot dog and get off the screen.
And stop fondling that chick's hair because that's weird.
No such thing as a favorite Flash.
it just didn't really make me happy. And at the end of the movie, I was like relieved it was over. That's the big tell for me. And that's like emotion. Like there's no rational thing to that. It's just if the credits roll and I'm like, finally, now I can do what I actually want to do today. That immediately puts it very low. I give it a 3 because the beginning was good. And that's all.
But you're gonna get that soundtrack though, right? Because all those covers were bangers of everything they covered.
They were actually. There was a Richard Cheese moment, which I think was a nod to Hot Fuzz.
Well, he also used Richard Cheese in Dawn of the Dead when he covered Down with the Sickness. It did like a ballroom version.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, Cranberry Zombie at the end. That just that was...
but it was like the weak dick version. It wasn't like the good version.
Yeah, Meister did it better.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to replace the whole intro with the Dead Kennedys version of that song. And it would have been so much better.
This is the end.
Yeah, those are more expensive.
Yeah, true.
I agree with you, Danny. The soundtrack was pretty awesome. It was good.
Great. I expect to see the vinyl in your wall.
Yeah, right there. right there next to Fantastic Four number 49. Yeah.
I did get the Snyder Cut vinyl. It's like 7 discs. I'll show you guys when.
Do you still own a record player?
I don't have a vinyl. I think we do somewhere in the house, but I don't listen to my music in vinyl. It just comes with a lot of really cool. I think it's from Mondo, and they do a lot of really cool stuff. So I was like, yeah, I need to get it.
Done.
I have an irrational hatred for vinyl.
Yeah.
It's because you have an irrational hatred for hipsters, so it just connects.
Once one of my co-hosts told me that sometimes comic book artists do art on vinyls. I was like, I need to go find that shit. And that's how I started buying them.
I do want the Dave Byrne cover of what's his name, Joe Satriani riding with the alien, because it's a Silver Surfer vinyl, and it would look really good on this wall. But I don't have a vinyl player, so it'll just be aesthetic.
Just the collection. All right, I give it a 4. I slept through a lot of it. I didn't say at the beginning, but I slept through a lot of it, and I give it a 4. It was average. Had fun stuff. I liked the special effects. I liked seeing like blood and just shit explode. And then I liked that intro, like you said, Judah, the first 10 minutes. So that's what I give it. So yeah, we were most of us were less than impressed. Danny gave it a near perfect movie. Near perfect movie.
Now, can we spend some time to talk about our Lord and Savior?
MODOK.
Oh, hail MODOK.
When does that start? When does that series start?
It already did.
It started Friday, dude.
Yeah.
What?
10 episodes dropped on Friday.
10 episodes on Hulu right now.
Oh, bitch,
what kind of sad excuse for a comic book YouTube co-host am I if I haven't even seen it yet? I'm gonna watch it as soon as we're done here.
It's a masterpiece.
I'm 3 in.
I'm
3 in.
Yeah, I just watched 3 as well.
It's like eating candy, so I don't want to like eat too much at once. But
I want to know the answer to this too.
Yeah, before we close out, what makes it not perfect?
Well, I think the part with
and remember, Zack Snyder's watching.
With the story with the daughter, really. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like that story plot point, so I was like, that'll knock it one notch.
But that plot point is like 1/4 of the movie.
I'm gonna send you guys my letterbox
so that
you can see what I rated the other Snyder movies, and then you'll never have me on your show again.
Your score, your score should be a 7.5 based on not to tell you what your score should be, but that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Judah, don't explain scores to me.
Am I score splaining? Am I non-Snyder
splaining? Are you nerd splaining right now?
I did. When we started a video, we clearly said we're not movie critics. We just love watching movies. So you will not like a lot of these opinions.
There you go.
I got to do a lot of disclaimers when I'm talking about stuff.
Yeah.
It's just fun to talk shit.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, that is the end of our show. If you caught the last one, you know we got a bunch of good shit coming out. If you want to know what we're coming out, I'm not going to spit it all out right now. We do have a giveaway happening on Wednesday with some bad idea stuff. But if you want to know more about that, check out our Twitter.
Not this Wednesday.
The second, yep. If you want to know more about our shit, join our Discord. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of stuff.
Ooh, what are you holding, Danny?
Some Kevin Eastman goodness that I got from some friends online.
Where did you get that?
It just came in the mail.
wow. Nice.
It's all I can say about that.
Still waiting on a ticket to Hawaii, but I think we're just waiting for everything to open up a little bit more.
Nice.
Does it smell like flaming hot Cheetos? Because
I haven't opened I didn't want to open the bag.
Oh, okay. Right on. Cool. Well,
all right, we're out of here. See ya. Bye bye.
Later.